Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. This is actually the first video in the new year. Hope you all had a great start. And today we're going to have a look at my favorite Outboard reverb units. And I'm going to show you how to kind of emulate them in the computer with a Logic plugin. Alright, so as you are kind of like me, a little bit maybe, you have a hybrid setup or some sort of outboard equipment that you've connected to your converters. And for example, if you have multi-effects and you want to use them also in the box, you can kind of like do that. Of course, it's not totally possible, but you can actually copy or emulate a preset or more presets of your favorite output multi-effects unit. And I have actually four of them. Three that I always use on my projects. The first one is the Alesis Reverb 4. Yes, I use that. Yes, it's a very cheap unit, but I do like one particular sound of it. The next one is the LXP15 from Lexicon. It's kind of like a dated unit, but it has very good presets in there, and I really like one particular reverb in there that I always use on my guitars or on my vocals. And then, last but not least, TC Electronic M350 newer unit, also very affordable, but it has a very cool and classy sounding TC Hall. All right, so in the computer I have two examples, and I'm going to show you how it sounds on drums and how it sounds on lead vocals. I created buses, bus 3, bus 4, and so forth, also on the lead vocal. And I inserted on the bus the ChromaVerb, which is our reverb that we want to have a very similar, kind of like emulated sound of the preset of the Outboard FX unit. So how this works is, of course, quite difficult. Well, not very difficult, but you have to do a little bit of trial and error, because as these Outboard reverbs have particular and very distinctive algorithms, you just can't copy the settings of it. I mean, for example, when you look at them, when you click on Edit, a decay time, you got also low pass filter in there, a pre-delay. Then you also have settings for low frequency damping and high frequency damping. So there's very particular settings here. And of course, they do sound different, so you just can't copy actually the very same settings into the plugin. So what I did is I listened very closely with the studio monitors, and also, very important, with the headphones, to really hear the details, and it was quite a bit back and forth. So as you can see, I got a much shorter decay time. It was 3.6 seconds on the Alesis and 1.7 on the, and is 1.7 here in the plugin. And I just did it by ear and went back and forth and listened closely how the different sounds. And I also copied the very specific features, of course, like a high cut that the Outboard has in its preset. And I played around with the modulation depth and the speed, and also with the width. Very important. If you have kind of like a too wide stereo effect here, it may sound completely different, so you have to really listen carefully. All right, so this is actually the settings for the Alesis Reverb for the warm room setting. You can pause, of course, the video and copy those settings into your plugin. So you have also kind of like this Reverb warm room setting in your DAW. And the other picture here is this one. So just pause the video and copy those settings, and then you have basically the same reverb as I have. And so these are the settings for the Alesis Reverb 4 for the warm room preset that I mostly use for kind of like mashing everything together, have a coherent sound all over the tracks to make kind of like the impression that everything was tracked in the same room. So it kind of like glues everything. So it's very sparsely used on each track. So what I recommend here is, if you want to have the settings, you click here just on Save As, and it opens your preset menu of the ChromaVerb, and you can name it whatever you want. I have here the Alesis Reverb 4 Warm Room. can also see I've also done this with the other plugins, so with the other presets, and you click Save. All right, so now let's get to the examples and listen how they actually sound. All right, so here we have a drum sample. Let's play it without any reverb, and I'm gonna switch on the console between those two. I've brought all the channels onto the console. For example, here is the in-the-box effect, which is the ChromaVerb, and here is the Alesis that I brought here on the console from the aux track. So let's play Try. Now the Alesis. And the ChromaVerb. Alesis. And Chroma. So as you probably hear, and I hope you listen with good monitoring system, it's very close. Of course, it's not 100%, but it's actually a very go-to sound. And the reason, because I didn't explain that in the beginning, the reason why I actually did that is because I want to have all my Outboard favorite presets to go actually. So if I'm not at home or do some editing with my laptop or something like that, or mixing with my laptop, I want to have those also in the box ready. All right, so let's go to the next reverb, and this is on bus 4 here. Again, ChromaVerb. This is the emulation of the Lexicon LXP15 of the large dark room. Also save that. Not the same, or not quite the same settings as on the hardware. A little bit of a different decay time, but I also did the low and the high pass as it is in the unit. Kind of like the same, but of course I went here just by listening. And again, just copy the settings, pause the video, and here are the details. Okay. So let's get to that. First of all, again, Try. And the Lexicon. Lexicon LXP15, great sounding old unit. And then let's head over to the vocals. And on the vocals here, I have the bus 5. Again, ChromaVerb here. And those settings are quite a bit different. We have a vocal hall. I went here from a preset of the ChromaVerb from a vocal hall. And the settings here are a very, very long decay time. I also have it specifically on the TC Electronic, as you can see, quite a long decay time, and also quite a bit of a high frequency boosting here. I like that on vocals. It really depends, of course. And again, I hear a little bit of a bump here on the lower frequencies, 130, a low cut, and a little bit of a high cut. All right. So again, copy those settings, just pause the video. And here again, the main menu. And now let's listen to that. So let's start off Try.
Longing for more could never be wronger than right now. Longing for more would lead to everything that I don't want to feel on my own. And I can't breathe out the words that I would love to hear from you. I got time and you got shelter. I'm falling into pieces. I'd leave it all behind. falling into pieces. I got the message right.
All right. So I think that I nailed it a little bit more on the other ones. Maybe I have to do some refining here on the TC ChromaVerb preset. But all in all, it's actually, I'm very glad that I did that, because I can now have my go-to presets with me in the box. And I'm not restricted completely to my analog setup here. I think the ChromaVerb is actually a very, very good stock plugin of Logic. You can make quite a lot of different sounds with it. You can go into very detail with the high and the low frequency dampening of the reverb, as well as there is also a EQ afterwards on the output section of the reverb. So this is really a great plugin that they have in Logic now there. So I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below, and I try to answer them the best as I can. And yeah, so as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and see you in the next video.